Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news now. Eagles fans, let's talk about the latest buzz around the team. It's been a fascinating offseason so far, especially considering the approach that General Manager Howie Roseman has taken this year. If you've been following the Eagles over the last few seasons, you're well aware that Roseman has a reputation for making bold moves, trades that shake things up, big-name free agent signings, and a relentless pursuit of building a Super Bowl-caliber roster. But this offseason, it's been a different story. It's almost like Roseman hit pause on his usual aggressive approach and decided to play the long game, focusing on stability, cap management, and developing the young talent already on the roster. Instead of chasing after high-profile free agents or making blockbuster trades early in the offseason, the Eagles have been remarkably disciplined. They've signed 12 free agents, but every single one of those deals was on a one-year contract. That's a stark contrast to previous years, where we saw multi-year deals for big names. What does that tell us? It's pretty clear that Philly's plan is to keep their powder dry, to see how the roster develops, and to give their younger players more opportunities. The strategy here is to allow these second- and third-year players to step up and prove themselves, especially with an eye on the 2025 season, where the team expects a lot of those young guys to take significant leaps forward. Now, some fans might be wondering if this cautious approach means the Eagles are done making moves. Not necessarily. While the focus has been on internal development and cap flexibility, there are still opportunities out there. Players who can come in for a reasonable price, stay under the age of 30, and bring some much-needed depth. And interestingly enough, there's been talk about bringing back a familiar face from the past, someone who could fit perfectly into the current defensive scheme and address some pressing needs. That player is Kyzir, the former Eagles linebacker who left the team after the 2022 season to join the Arizona Cardinals. Let's dive deeper into Kyzir's situation, because he represents a perfect case study of what the Eagles might consider in their ongoing roster construction. White, now 29 years old, has been a reliable force on defenses since entering the league. He's known for his physicality, tackling ability, and football IQ. Over the last few seasons, White has played in all 17 games during 3 of the last 4 campaigns, which speaks volumes about his durability and consistency. Despite being in a league that's increasingly pass-happy, White has remained a dependable run stopper and a capable coverage linebacker. His ability to bring down ball carriers and contribute in coverage makes him an attractive option, especially for a team like the Eagles, who have traditionally valued versatile linebackers. During his single season in Philadelphia, White really made an impact. He finished the year with 110 tackles, along with 7 pass deflections, 3 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. That's a pretty solid stat line, and it showed that he could be a key piece in Philly's defensive puzzle. After that successful stint, White decided to follow former Eagles defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon to Arizona, where he's been a regular starter. In Arizona, he's racked up over 227 tackles, including 137 last season alone, which is among the highest totals of his career. So, this guy clearly knows how to produce, and he's still in his prime. But here's the thing. At this point, the Eagles' linebacker core is a little banged up and in need of depth. Rookie first-round pick Jihad Campbell and Nakobe Dean are both recovering from off-season surgeries, and there's some uncertainty about whether they'll be ready for training camp. Meanwhile, Zach Bond and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. have been taking the first-team reps, but it's clear the team could benefit from adding someone with White's experience and reliability, and that's where the idea of bringing him back makes a lot of sense. Not only would it provide immediate depth, but it would also give Campbell and Dean some extra time to recover without rushing them into a bigger role. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. How much would White cost? Well, given his recent production and age, he'd likely be looking at a deal in the range of $1 million to $5 million for this season. That's a steal for a player of his caliber, especially if it's just a one-year deal. Roseman has shown in the past that he's willing to take calculated risks with one-year contracts, especially when it comes to filling immediate gaps without hampering the team's cap space for future moves. Signing White again could be a smart move, especially considering the chemistry he already has with some of the defensive players and the familiarity with the team's culture and expectations. Plus, let's not forget that White's experience in the league and his familiarity with the Eagles' defensive schemes, despite some scheme differences, could translate into a seamless integration. The players on the defense already know him, and the coaching staff would appreciate having a reliable veteran who can step in and contribute right away. It's also worth mentioning that adding White would send a strong message about the team's commitment to winning now, even with a careful approach to roster building. It's about balancing youth and experience, and White provides a perfect blend of both. As we look ahead, it's uncertain whether the Eagles will make any more moves before the start of the season, but adding a player like White would certainly help solidify their linebacker depth and give the defense a boost right when they need it most. The injuries, as I mentioned, will be a critical factor in training camp, and having White available would allow the team to be more flexible with their young players' development. It also signals to the rest of the division that Philly is still serious about competing at the highest level, even if they're taking a more measured approach this offseason. So, what does all this mean for the Eagles moving forward? It's a clear indication that while they're not chasing big-name free agents or making splashy trades at the moment, they're still carefully evaluating their options. They're building a roster that is both flexible and competitive, with a focus on the future, but not at the expense of winning in the present. Linebacker position, in particular, is a crucial area to watch, and re-signing White could be one of those subtle yet impactful moves that pay dividends down the line. It's about smart roster management, leveraging familiar faces, maintaining cap flexibility, and giving young players the opportunity to grow. Now, for us fans, it's an exciting time. The NFC East is shaping up to be more competitive than ever, with the Eagles looking to defend their division crown and make another deep playoff run. The moves they make now, even if they seem small or cautious, could have a huge impact on their success in the coming season. We've seen how Howie Roseman's leadership can turn things around quickly, and even in this more reserved offseason, the potential for a surprise move is always there. So stay tuned, keep your eyes on the news, and get ready for what promises to be an electrifying Eagles season. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this strategy? Do you think bringing Kyzir White back is the right move? Or are you hoping for a different kind of addition? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team as well. Remember, I'll be back very soon with more updates, insider info, and analysis, so make sure you stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for our beloved birds. Thanks for watching, and as always, fly Eagles fly.